Hello, and welcome to the Growth Lane. If you're new here, my name is Mutinta, and I'm extremely happy that you found this video because this is going to be a good video. So please stay tuned, watch till the end. Please do subscribe, press the notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you have first-hand access to it. So I will go right into it. Today is for my legal people, okay? But I hope for the non-legal audience, you can still watch and benefit from it, or help a friend, or tell a friend to tell a friend who you know would definitely use this information. From the title, you know it's quite clear that this is going to be about a legal journey. I will share some personal insights and lessons from my own journey thus far, because I'm still quite, early in the early stages of my career, but I feel that even with what I know now, it can still benefit those coming after me. It can still benefit even maybe people who I'm at the same level with, or maybe from a different perspective. And as you know, knowledge sharing really, if you look for the right information, it catches you at the right time. It's going to be very beneficial, whichever path or whichever, part of the path you are on. Yeah, so thank you so much for joining me today. And I have some pointers here in my very cute notebook, which my friend got for me. She got it for me as she sent through an exam care package, and I've been enjoying it ever since. Yeah, so basically, I'll start with a few issues which people highlighted that I should talk about. People also wanted to know things like where I started my internship, when, how to apply, how it's been so far, and the like. Of course, I'll leave out some very personal details, but I'll make sure to share everything relevant that can be of use and that can help you for your own journey. So in terms of internship, I started when I was at the end of my third year, really. I personally did not want to intern before finishing law school. I think I just wanted to take my courses, and then I was going to start looking for internship after. But a door opened, and I'm grateful for that. And I'm still working at that same firm. I've also done my Ziale training. So I'm waiting to be called to the bar as well. I'll definitely make a video when that happens. And in terms of, I think, how the journey has been so far, I've sort of like moved up in stages, because when you're in law school, during law school, or maybe just after law school, and you join a firm as an intern, that's the level you're basically at, intern. And the scope of work expected really at that stage would be maybe your research, you filing documents at court, and a lot of other stuff which I've talked about in a few of my previous videos if you scroll along the channel. And then while you are attached at Ziale, or while you are undergoing your training to become an advocate of the High Court for Zambia, you become a learner legal practitioner, so like a trainee advocate. And basically there'll be different conditions, at your place of work. At other places it's the same really, so I think it just depends on your preference, or really where God will take you. Yeah, because I believe God took me where I am. And that should be your prayer as well. I think a lot of questions I get so far is, oh, how can I get to come to your firm, or how can I get to this target firm? And I think it's okay to have a goal. There's no problem with having your eye in a particular workplace. It may not even be a firm, maybe it's court, or anywhere in the legal space that you want to work. But I think do not be closed-minded, because I think a lot of people are not happy with where they are because it's not what they wanted. And so if you're going to start this on the foundation of disappointment, is going to be very difficult, because there are many challenges ahead waiting for you. So you want to make sure that you have your strength, you have a good mindset for what you're about to face, if I could put it like that, and just be grateful really. So I think wherever you are put, even if maybe to many people it may not look like an ideal place, or maybe not as big as you thought, or not as posh as you thought, if you give your best in that place and you apply yourself daily, and you form good working relationships with people, you build a good network, I think you can honestly flourish anywhere. And the profession is, I think, smaller than it's made out to be. I know people say, oh no, maybe like it's saturated, there's so many lawyers. They look at maybe call day and how many people are being called to the bar and the like. But when you actually are in the profession, you get to see that almost everyone knows everybody, or somehow somebody, you have a mutual friend from somewhere or from your law school, you know. So even your relationships from law school are very important. You want to make sure that you maintain good friendships, at least those that are worth keeping, because I mean there are some, maybe, you know, a person's character or personality, you can't just really, you know, want to hang on to them just because you may need them in future. But generally, I mean, if you're going to I don't want to say find it easier in the profession, but I think if you're going to make your journey just a bit smoother, it's important to have good relations with your colleagues, fellow counsel, you know, as we address each other, with senior counsel as well, being respectful, you know, even with how you talk and the like. All these things are noticed. How you put yourself out there also. So a lot of people use LinkedIn. For me, really, I'm not so active on LinkedIn, or at least not yet. That's not where I got my platform from. Yeah. So but for other people, you know, they will tell you that, oh, it's through LinkedIn that they had a connection and then got the exposure. So it's not really a one size fits all kind of, oh, if I want to make it, these are the exact steps I need to take. So even with what I share in these videos, this is just my perspective and me giving you my experience, and borrowing as well from experiences of others, my colleagues, my friends, those who have gone ahead of me, and, you know, just speaking and interacting with people. So you must be able to assess and know for yourself what will work for you, what won't. Otherwise, if you're just trying to go in the footsteps of, you know, in one kind of way, you may end up in something that you don't like. So typically after your law school, there are mainly three things that you're expected to do. Either you will go to Ziale, which is to pursue your practicing license so that you're admitted to the bar, or maybe you're expected to go for your master's, which is like your postgraduate education, or just find a job maybe, you know. So it's really all about what you prefer. I think even the jurisdiction matters. So I'm speaking from, you know, a Zambian jurisdiction perspective, but I'm sure in other countries, you know, it may be the same, but again, not the same. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah. And then another thing I wanted to highlight is whether getting internship is an advantage, because I see as well a lot of people feeling like they're behind or at a disadvantage if they don't start legal internship before they finish school. I've seen people not have any legal internship throughout their law school, and then only start as an intern after, and still thrive and still do good, and will be the same as the person who started in first year or second year. So it really goes back to what I said about it's a personal journey. You don't have to follow a one size fits all kind of criteria. You know, other people will say it's better to find internship earlier because it helps you and prepares you, and maybe you get a feel of the working world before, you know, you're actually thrown into it and the like. Yeah, so I think that's also something to take into consideration. In terms of applying, I will say just do your prior research. It's not, yeah, do your prior research. Find videos like mine or other people, you know, in the legal space that have prepared videos. It's not difficult to find information these days. Do prior research on, you know, what probably you could be asked, for example, in a law firm interview. That way you're better prepared. And then even if it's maybe at a stage of going to Ziale, do prior research of what's required. How can I best prepare for it at my stage? Yeah, and really the rest in God's hands, and you want to be very intentional so that you end up in the right place. Again, I emphasize not just doing things for the sake of, oh, okay, this seems to be the trajectory after law school, I must go here, and then I must go here, and then I must go here. Take your time in also exploring and getting to see what you really like. However, what internship does is that it gives you an idea of how the actual legal profession works if you're going to actively practice, because in most of these firms you'll find practice areas. So you'll find maybe departments of different sectors of the law. Other firms, there are no departments per se, but they do handle different fields of the law. So being an intern gives you that wide exposure in terms of you're sort of everywhere, and you're handling everything. So it's sort of like a general law kind of thing that you're doing, and from that you can be able to sieve out what you think you're good at, or what you enjoy and what you don't really enjoy, and what you think wouldn't really be for you. Yeah, and then there's some people who actually after their law degree just branch out of the law altogether. Like they don't even go to Ziale, they don't do internship, they don't do a master's, like they're just done. And that doesn't mean that they'll never use their law degree, but it could be that they want to pursue other things for the stage they're at, and maybe get back to it, or even just use the legal knowledge they have but in different ways. So if you are such a person who doesn't want to pursue the law any further, don't feel guilty about it. I think it's very normal. At least you have had your training, and the degree will always be there, really, and you could decide how best you want to use it. Don't let people make you feel like, oh, it was such a waste if you don't use it. I really think it's up to you. The only thing I think that makes people want to go for things like Ziale and the like immediately is because of I think how involving it can be. So they advise that you go, or it is advised that you go maybe earlier in your career when you have maybe more strength, more energy, and the information is fresh in your mind, and you still have that routine, I would say, like that is student like. So that way it wouldn't be difficult to adapt into a continuous student kind of mode, or kind of patterns and behaviors that you have, as opposed to maybe when you're much older. But we have seen people who are much older still taking on the challenging phases even now. So really, at the end of the day, and I think personally something I've learned is that almost every stage of everything will be difficult if you tell yourself it will be difficult. So mindset, I'm learning now still even, is a very important thing that's going to keep you in whatever sector you're in, but particularly for the law, it's really going to, I think, keep you afloat at least, and you want to have a good support system with you as well. And yeah, I think I will not make this video too long. I hope it has been helpful. So I was sort of all over, if you notice, because I'm trying to address questions that have been getting with regards to how important internship is. I think I'll do a separate one as to I think how exactly I got my internship, but I don't know if that's very necessary. I will see. Yeah, but because I believe the information I've shared now would be useful enough, and I hope you have found it helpful, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.